Hey, I'm Daniel, and you're watching another episode of the Filmcraziest Show. And today, my guest was actor Greg Finley. He joined me to talk about his new film Downeast, where he plays the lead in the film, Tommy, and he also produced and he wrote the story for Downeast. The film is a gritty crime drama about this often ignored, seedy criminal underbelly of Portland, Maine, in a story of love, loss, and redemption, all centered around a past incident that drives the film. Downeast was released on video on demand today, July 13th, including iTunes. You can find links to watch the film down below. And here's Greg Finley to introduce us.
What's going on, guys? I'm Greg Finley. I play Tommy in Downeast. I'm a producer on the film. I have story by credit, and you are watching the Filmcraziest Show.
Cool, thanks. Do you prefer Greg or Gregory?
Greg, please.
All right, cool. Thank you, Greg. It's great to have you here.
Thanks.
Excited to chat about your film. I finished it last night.
Oh, nice.
And honestly, after I finished it, I was listening to that song in the credits, After Many Miles, like on a repeat. Well,
great.
What was it like getting that for the film?
Well, my cousin knows their manager. So okay. It was, we wanted, we had a couple songs, and that was probably number one on the list. And my cousin reached out, and she's like, I'll put the intro out, and that was it. Yeah, it was great that it worked out like that. It fit perfect. I mean, that was Meredith, our editor, and had that whole vision. So
okay, I'm glad she got it for the film, because yeah I hadn't heard the song before, and I was like, oh, this really fits the Maine setting.
Yeah.
Now, you filmed this on location in Maine, and I think it was Long Island, Maine?
No, it was Portland, Maine, mostly,
okay,
as well as Old Orchard Beach.
Okay, see,
a little bit of Scarborough.
Okay, see, I thought it was Long Island, Maine, because I assumed it was Portland, but then I saw on the boat, Long Island, Maine.
Yeah, that's where the boat is out of. A lot of the lobstermen live on the island out there.
Okay, now you're from Portland, so what was it like filming in your hometown?
It was amazing, to be honest with you. I mean, that was the biggest joy that I got from the film. I mean, that was my goal all along, was to shoot it in my hometown. And it was just bizarre waking up at my own house, not in Los Angeles, driving past my high school on the way to set every day. It was bizarre. It was awesome. Yeah.
Bringing back a lot of good memories?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
Okay. Did you take any of the set like to your own high school, or like, this is where I used to go?
No, I mean, yeah, when we were doing the location scouting before the film, I kind of like, oh, that's where this and that's where that. I was kind of I was like a little kid. I was really excited to bring this Hollywood film team to my hometown, which, Ed, the cinematographer and producer, he's from Maine. So I wasn't surprising him with anything, but everybody else, it was pretty cool.
Okay. You're like kind of the tour guide for the film.
Yeah. All the locations, because when I wrote the original version, I had all these locations picked out. And literally almost every location that I just had in my head, we ended up shooting. God willing, it was crazy.
Okay. Now, the lighthouse in the background, where is that in Portland?
Yeah, that's Portland Headlight. So that's probably, I don't know, that's arguably the most famous lighthouse in the country for sure. Yeah, that's right in Portland. This painting, I got this painting in driving on La Cienega in Hollywood. I had a Mustang coupe, and it's like a little two-door coupe. And I'm driving down La Cienega, and this dude is just finished painting this painting, and I was like, that's one of the prettiest Portland Headlight paintings I've ever seen. I pulled off to the road, and I said, how much do you want for the painting? And he's like, $750. And I was like, what? And I was like, I'll give you $100 for it. And he's like, cool. And I gave him 100. And I shoved the thing in my Mustang. I don't know how the heck I fit it. And I was driving out to Venice to visit a buddy, and I couldn't even see out the window, but I had to have the painting.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Not a great bargainer. I mean, he is.
Yeah, I know, right? $750. I'll give you 100.
A bit of a far cry, but that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Now, can you talk about how you came up with the story for this film, and what it was like developing with director Joe Raffa, and who also writes the screenplay?
Yeah. I was living in LA. I was not working. I was trying to, I was working side jobs, and I was, the auditions that I would have, I wasn't very excited about. I mean, I was so green, and I was, a newcomer. And I said, man, I really would love to figure out a role that I'd actually like to play. And so I thought of the original script that was called Danny Boy. The movie was called Danny Boy at the time. And I wrote it, and it was okay, and it went through several rewrites. And then I ended up hooking up with Ed and Joe, and Joe completely did the full rewrite on it. And now it's his script, and he basically made it better. And of course I put a lot of my input in the story and the characters, and a lot of the things in the movie were me, but it's Joe's script.
Okay, so you kind of laid down the bones and he made the bones better, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What attracted you to playing the character of Tommy and writing him?
I love stories. I love when good people sometimes have to do bad things in movies, and the whole anti-hero, and I'm big on family and friends and helping and whatever I can do. And I think Tommy kind of did what he had to do to help his loved ones, even though it was maybe sometimes not the best thing to do.
Okay, fair. Now, yeah, I love small town crime. So what was it like for you and the team, like depicting this small town crime in Portland, Maine, and where we usually see like gangs in New York, Chicago, Boston?
Yeah. I mean, this movie is completely fictional. Of course, there's crime everywhere, but I had seen a lot of cool, New York gangster films, and of course, The Departed in Boston is, my goal was I wanted to shoot in that genre, but not mafia per se. And I wanted to show the beauty and the grittiness of Portland, Maine. I mean, I knew it would be a director's dream and a cinematographer's dream to do it. And I just wanted the backdrop to be kind of crime because it's interesting and people love it. And I love crime genre movies. And also a love story. Everybody loves a love story. So I tried to mend the two together.
Okay. And the world building is it almost feels like a true story. So what was it like creating this world?
That'd be a question for Joe. I mean, there's a lot of things. Okay. So we were trying to figure out the incident that happened in the movie. And that incident, and I don't want to get into it too much, but that incident that happens is loosely based on my life and an incident that happened to me. And so we knew the kind of tone we wanted for the film, but we really needed that incident. And I was sitting with Joe at, where were we at? Some restaurant in LA, and it just hit me. I was like, well, one day this and this happened, and we kind of just sparked it from there, and it kind of just went.
Okay, so that incident wasn't part of the original Bones per se?
No, it wasn't. That's writing, and that's developing film and indie film for that matter. You're kind of just, going with it, and any writer will tell you, I don't really consider myself a writer, but you'll wake up in the middle of the night at 3-4 a.m. and just with this idea that you could not figure out during your time that you were supposed to be writing, it just kind of hits you, and it's exciting. And that's what that moment was, really.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And Maine is the people in Maine, and just the atmosphere of Maine is very, a lot of people say it's very real. People in Maine are very real and I don't know, down to earth or just, and I feel like that showed in the movie, just the exterior, not even so much the people, but just the, geography of Maine. It just seems very real and people can relate to it. And I knew that would be cool to capture on film.
Okay. Now, Portland is the biggest city in Maine, and it's only 100,000 people?
Yeah, not a lot of people.
Okay.
Very
So
small. Yeah.
so what was it like for them, like having a film crew come into the town?
It was, and I'm not surprised by it. Everybody was so cool. They were excited. They welcomed us with open arms. It's a small town feel, and they love their own. And I was a little worried, maybe like, oh, what's Hollywood coming down here for, and all that stuff. But I think maybe the fact that Ed and I were from there, and people knew that I had no ill intentions, and I just wanted to show how cool this friggin' city is. And even though it had the backdrop of crime and illegal stuff going on, at the heart of it was a love story, and it showed just how amazingly beautiful the city was.
Sure. Showing how beautiful the city is, like where the cinematography is great. And I was just curious, the beach scenes, did you film those at the same time or
Yeah,
months later?
no, yeah, those were in the little warmer weather.
Okay.
And it was it was cool. I mean, we knew that going in, that Joe so brilliantly did the flashback scenes, and we were all very excited that like we could show the contrast from the winter, to the summer, because it worked in the film. And those summers before the incident, life was okay, life was better. And that's Maine for you. You get 2 months of summer and everything's great, and then it's cold.
Yeah, like the warmer hues were great. Like, and I'm very bad with my geography, so I was like, oh, like did we just go up the road and it's summer up the road?
No. That was definitely different seasons for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Now I'd love to ask about the lobster fishing scenes. Now, have you worked with lobster before? Or did you have to learn for those scenes?
No, I was like, growing up in Maine, you fish, and you're familiar with boats, and you're familiar with the wharf and the coast and everything. And I've been on dozens of boats, but I've never been lobstering. I was a complete poser. And luckily, Steve Tran, our lobster guy, he really tried his best to make me look like I could do it. And yeah, he did a great job for us.
Okay, it looked authentic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were out there, we were on that boat, and
sure.
It was funny because we wanted, of course, that gritty look, and we were out there, and it was like the sunniest day ever in January. And Kirk, the guy who plays Marty, was like, people are gonna think we shot this movie in Hawaii, because it was just so, it was like the sunniest, warmest day of like the winter there. And I'm like, oh, but we got it done.
Okay, so very un-Maine like.
Yes, very much.
Okay. What was it like sharing those scenes with Kirk, Marty? Sorry, what's the guy who plays Kirk?
Marty, yeah. Kirk, yeah. Kirk Fox, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Now, what was it like sharing those scenes with him? Because the banter is pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's hilarious. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met. He's a comedic genius. He's very smart. He's almost like a poet and a philosopher when he speaks. It's really interesting to have a conversation with Kirk. But at the end of the day, when he turns on that comedy, it's hard to keep a straight face. And we were just riffing off of each other, and I just tried to keep up.
Sure. Now, was the Tom Brady stuff in the script, or was that improvised?
So the Tom Brady stuff was in the script, and Joe obviously came up with that, and I was very impressed. A Philly boy came up with that line. And then the Bob Cousy line, which I think only New Englanders might catch. Bob Cousy was a point guard for the Celtics way back in the day, and so that was improv. Okay. It just came to me on the spot, and I knew probably a lot of people wouldn't get it, but the New Englanders would know what's up.
Okay, I did not get it.
Yeah.
Okay, the Tom Brady line is almost funnier now that he's in Tampa.
I know, right? We should have put the movie out sooner.
Oh, no. I think that's like literally the only thing that dates it a little bit. And Edelman being retired now.
Exactly.
Now, you've mentioned that this is also a romance film. So what was it like building the chemistry with Dylan Silver, I think your name is?
Dylan Silver, yeah. I mean, it's, chemistry is always interesting. When I feel like with chemistry, I think we had great chemistry, first of all. but a good actress, you know, it's easy to have chemistry with a good actress like Dylan, and someone that's open. And she was very, you know, she was about it from the jump. And, you know, whether it was standing out in the freezing cold in January and doing these scenes, you know, she didn't complain, and she was just such a trooper. And yeah, it was just, I thought it came through, her and I. And I'm just very grateful that we got her.
That's awesome. Was it neat dealing with the villains of the film with Kerrigan and Brennan?
Yeah, I mean, Judson crushed it, as you know, and Joss, who plays Sawyer. I mean, these guys. It was so fun. I mean, I didn't have anything with or I had a little thing with Sawyer's character, the character of Sawyer. But yeah, that final scene with Judson was great, and you know, we got so lucky with the cast, and I don't mean that. We had a casting session in LA, and we knew after everybody came in, we knew exactly who we wanted. It was really great. And yeah, working with Judson was just phenomenal. I was just trying to keep up with everybody.
Cool. Now, just one more question about Maine. Is in the script, do you have to make it feel universal, or like, do you want it just to have like that Maine feel where people will love it for the story and for the visuals?
Yeah, I mean, at first, I was a little worried that, you know, about the crime stuff in Maine, and I never would want to, like, you know, not make my town proud. And I almost wanted to just have the town be unknown, you know, and that was quickly shot down by the other guys, and that was fine with me. But like I said, there's something very relatable with Maine, and yeah, we didn't necessarily think of that. I mean, again, I just wanted to shoot the damn movie there. I didn't really care if it said Maine. You know, the people in Maine will know it's Maine, and that was important to me. But I don't think it was really a conscious decision either way.
Now, do people in Portland, Maine, always call it the port?
The old port.
The old port?
That's an actual area in Maine, the downtown area in Maine on the water there. That's the old port. Yeah, it's always been called that.
All right, cool. Now, yeah. I'll have you plug real quick when people can find the film when it releases.
Yeah.
If you have that handy.
Yeah, July 13th. It's VOD, as the kids are saying these days. It's coming on iTunes, Amazon, I believe a couple other platforms. I'm not quite sure where yet, but you can pre-order it on, I don't know when this is coming out, but you can pre-order it on iTunes as we speak.
Cool. Awesome. So Greg Finley, who plays Tommy in Downeast, and you also produce and have the story by credit because you did like the original Bones.
Yeah, the original Bones.
Thank you for chatting with me on the Filmcraziest Show about Downeast.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Awesome.